Hello students, welcome to Anne's classes. Let's do decimal fractions. Write the number of decimal places in each of the following. Question 1, 7.03. What are decimal places? It is the number of digits in the decimal part of any number. You have to count the number of digits after the point, after the decimal point, and that will give you your decimal number. So here in question 1, after the point we have two digits 1 and 2. So the number of decimal places here is 2. Question 2. Count the number of digits after the decimal point 1, 2, 3. So the number of decimal places here is 3. Question 3. After the point we have only one digit. So the number of places is 1. Question 4. Let's count the number of digits in the decimal part, that is after the point 1, 2, 3, 4. So we have 4 decimal places. Question 5. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. We have 5 decimal places. Question 2. Convert the given unlike decimal fractions into like decimal fractions. Why are these called unlike decimal fractions? They're called so because if you look carefully, the first number has 2 decimal places. This has 2. The second number has only 1 decimal place and the third one has 3 decimal places. Now if they have the same number of decimal places, then the numbers are called like decimal fractions. But here as you can see, they have different number of decimal places. So they are called unlike decimal fractions. Now to convert these unlike decimal fractions into like decimal fractions, we just need to add a 0 to the right of the decimal part. So let's start with the first number 1.360. Okay, so we have to see that all numbers have the same number of decimal places. Second one 239.800. Third one 47.008. So now they all have 3 decimal places. The second number and the third number also have 3 decimal places. Now second one, we have unlike decimals here. What we need to do is first find out which number has the largest number of decimal places. The first one has 4, 1, 2, 3 and 4. The second one 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 has 5 decimal places. The third one has 3 decimal places. They're all unlike decimals. To make them all like decimals, we have to see that all numbers have the maximum number of decimal places, that is 5. So let's do that. So the second number has 5 decimal places. So we're going to see that all the numbers have 5 decimal places. So let's start. 507.0752 and we add a 0. The second one already has 5 decimal places, 52073, and the third one 0.808. This has only 3, so we're going to add 2 more zeros and make it 5 decimal places. So all 3 numbers now have 5 decimal places. Question 3. The first number has 2 decimal places. The second number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 has 5 decimal places. And the last one 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 has 6 decimal places. So now we need to see that all numbers have the same number of decimal places. to make them like decimals. So the first one, 459.22, we're going to add 4 zeros, 1, 2, 3, 4. Second one, 7.03093, we'll add one more 0. And the last one, we can write it as it is. So now all three numbers have 6 decimal places. Question 3. Change each of the following fractions to a decimal fraction. So now we have a fraction here which has a denominator 10. Now what is very important is for you to see the denominator and see how many zeros there are. Okay. Now the first step, take the numerator and write it as a whole number. Now 10 has 1 0, so your number that you form now should have one decimal place. Because 10 has 1 0, your number should have one decimal place. So for every whole number, now suppose I write a whole number here 6, it's understood that the decimal point is after the number. So this can be written as 6.0. For a whole number 7, the point is understood to be after 7. So it can be written as 7.0. So now I have written 7 as a whole number. So the point is understood that it is after 7. The point is here. Now since 10 has 1 0, the point will move one place to the left. So my final answer will be 0.7. And since I don't have any number before the point, I can write 0.7. Question 2. Take the numerator and write it as a whole number, 47. Look at the denominator. There is 1 0. So my point has to move one place to the left. So the point is understood that the point is after 7. So it will move one place to the left and come here. So what's my final answer? 4.7. Question 3. Let's write the numerator as a whole number. Look at the denominator. 100 has 2 zeros. So my point will move 2 places to the left from here. 1 and 2 places to the left. So what is my answer? 3.43. Question 4. 3 by 10 to the power of 3. That means 10 into 10 into 10, which is 1000. 10 to the power of 3 is 1000. Now let's place a point. Let's take 3 and write it as a whole number. Now my point has to move 3 places to the left. So if the point is here, so I'm going to move it to the left. So that's 1 place, 2 and 3, and then I put my point. So what do I have here? I need to fill it up with zeros. So what is my final answer? 0.003, and since I don't have a number before the point, I put 0. 0.003. Question 5. 7,295 by 10 to the power of 5. That is, you multiply 10 5 times. 1 followed by 5 zeros. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So 5 zeros. Now my numerator, I'm going to write it as a whole number, 7,295. And I'm going to look at my denominator and count the number of zeros. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So my whole number should have 5 decimal places. So that means it will move 5 places to the left. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, and then I put the point. So I have a number missing here. I'll put 0. So what is my final answer? My final answer is 0.07295. Question 6. 289 by 10 to the power of 6 this time. So 289 by 10 to the power of 6, that means 1 followed by 6 zeros. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Okay, so let me write 289. Now my point should move 6 places to the left. So let me put it this way also for you. 1, 2, 3 is already there. Now it has to move 6 places. It has to move 3, then 3 more places. 1, 2, 3 and then I put the point. So here wherever there's a number missing, I put a 0. So let me write down my answer. 0. There are 3 zeros and 289. So this is my final answer. 95 hundredths. So 95 hundredths is given in words. Let me write it as a fraction. 95 hundredths. So let's write the numerator as a whole number. Look at your denominator. There are 2 zeros. So my point moves 2 places to the left. So 1, 2 and then I put my point. So what is my final answer? 0.95. Question 4. Convert into a decimal fraction. Now here also the question is to convert this fraction into a decimal fraction. But as you can see, the denominator is not 10 or a higher power of 10. So you have to multiply the denominator with a number that will give you 10 or a higher power of 10. So I need to multiply 4 by 25. If I multiply 4 by 25, what do I get? I get 100, which is a power of 10. Let me go back to my question. If I multiply the denominator by 25, I must multiply the numerator also by 25. 25 into 3 is 75. Now we have got a question like the previous question, isn't it? Here the denominator is 100. So let's take the numerator, write it as a decimal fraction. Now I'm not putting a point, so it's a whole number now. Let me look at the denominator. There are 2 zeros. So my point moves 2 places to the left and comes there. So my final answer is 0.75. Question 2. 3 by 40. Again, the denominator is not 10 or a higher power of 10. So I'm going to change it to a higher power of 10. In the previous question, we multiplied 4 by 25 and got 100. Now let's multiply 40 by 25 and we will get 1000. Okay, so I will get 1000. 4 into 25 is 100. So 40 into 25, I add another 0. So let's go back to the question. Since I multiplied this by 25, I need to multiply. So we multiply the numerator also by 25. 3 into 25 is 75. So let's write the numerator as a whole number. Now let's count the number of zeros. 1, 2, 3. The point has to move 3 places to the left. 1, 2, 3 and then I put a point. So now my final answer, let me put a 0 in that place that's missing. My final answer will be 0.075. Next question, 1 by 125. Now I need to multiply 125 by a number to get a higher power of 10. What do I need to multiply 125 by to get a higher power of 10? Let me try with 8. 8 5s are 40, carry 4. 8 2s are 16. 17, 18, 19, 20, carry 2. 8 1s are 8, 9, 10. I got 1000. This is a higher power of 10. 10, 100, 1000, 10,000. These are all higher powers of 10. So 125 into 8 will give me 1000. So now I need to multiply my numerator also by 8 and I get 8. So now I have 8 by 1000. Let me write like the previous questions. 8 is my whole number. 1000 has 3 zeros. So my point will move 3 places to the left. 1, 2, 3. And then the point comes here. So let me fill in these gaps with zeros. And my final answer will be 0.008. Question 4. 7 by 25. 25 into 4 will give me 100, which is a higher power of 10. So let me multiply my numerator also by 4. 7 4s are 28. So now I have 28 by 100. Let me take 28 and write it as a whole number. Let me check the number of zeros in my denominator. There are 2. So my point moves 2 places to the left and then I put a point. So my final answer is 0.28. Next question. Change the given decimal fractions to fractions in their lowest terms. So there are two parts here. First I change this to a fraction and then I convert it to the lowest term. Okay, so here when you're changing a decimal fraction to a fraction, ignore the point and write it down. So 005, which is simply 5. We have to make it a fraction, so I need to give it a denominator. Now go back to the question and see how many places there are after the point. 1, 2. So my denominator is a higher power of 10, which has 2 zeros. So 1 followed by 2 zeros. So let me tell you how I got the 2 zeros again. In my question, there are 2 decimal places, 1, 2. So my denominator must have 2 zeros. So this is my answer, 5 by 100. I have converted it to a fraction. Now I need to reduce it to the lowest term. To reduce it, divide both by a common factor, a number that can divide both. Both are divisible by 5. So let me divide this by 5 and this also by 5 and see what I get. So 5 ones are 5 and 5 into how much is 100? 5 into 20 is 100. So what is my final answer? 1 by 20. So I have converted 0.05 into 1 by 20. Second question. 3.95. Now 5 is a decimal part. It will have a denominator 1 followed by 2 zeros because there are 2 decimal places. Now what about 3? 3 is my whole number. So this is a mixed fraction. So let me convert it to the lowest term. I will write 3 as it is. Now 95 by 100. Both have to be reduced to the lowest term. They are divisible by 5. Both are divisible by 5. So what do I get when I divide 95 by 5? Let me divide. 5 ones are 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 45. 5 nines are 45. So I get 19 and 5 into what is 100? 20. Now don't forget to write this 3. 3, 19 by 20 is the final answer. Question 3. 4 is the whole number and 005 I can simply write it as 5 by 1 followed by 1, 2, 3. 3 zeros. 5 by 1000. To reduce it to the lowest term, the whole number remains the same. I divide both by a common number. The common number is 5, which can divide both. So let's see what I get. I will write 4 as it is. Now 5 ones are 5. So my numerator is 1. Then 5 into how much is 1000? 5 twos are 10. Then I bring down the 0, bring down the 0. So 5 into 200. So my denominator is 200. So this is my final answer, which is a fraction, and it has been reduced to the lowest term. Next question, 0.876. So ignore the point. I get 876. The denominator will be 1 followed by 1, 2, 3. 3 zeros. 876 by 1000. Now I can divide both by 2. So let's see. 2 fours are 8. 2 threes are 6. But 7, 1 is left. 2 eights are 16. Let's try this. 2 fives are 10. I bring down this 0. I bring down this 0. So I have got 438 by 500. I can still reduce this by 2. 2 twos are 4. 2 ones are 2. Carry 1. 2 nines are 18. This also by 2. 2 twos are 4. Carry 1. 2 fives are 10. And bring down the 0. So I've got 219 by 250. 219 by 250. Now that will be my final answer. This cannot be reduced further, so this will be my final answer. Okay, next one. 50.06. So 50 is my whole number. Ignore the point. 6 by 1 followed by 1, 2. 2 zeros, that's 100. So if I have to reduce it to the lowest term, I need to divide both by a common number. I can divide both by 2. 50 remains the same. Now 2 threes are 6. 2 threes are 6 here. And my denominator, 2 into what is 50? Is 100. 2 fives are 10. I bring down the 0. 2 into 50 is 100. So I bring this down. So my final answer is 53 by 50. 53 by 50. Question 6. Now here I have 5 decimal places. Let me ignore the point and I get 1075. I've ignored the point. So 1075 by, let's count the number of decimal places. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That means I need to have 1 followed by 5 zeros. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Okay, so now let's reduce this to the lowest term. Both are divisible by 5. So let me divide both by 5. Let's divide both by 5. The numerator and the denominator. Okay, 5 twos are 10, 5 ones are 5, 6, 7, 25, 5 fives are 25, 215. Let's go to the denominator. 5 twos are 10, bring down the 0, 1 more, 1 more and 1 more. So we get 20,000. So here, right now, we've got 215 by 20,000. 20,000. Okay, let's divide both again by 5. Divide both by 5 and let's see what we're getting. 5 fours are 20. There's one left there, so it's 15. 5 threes are 15. 43. Let's check the denominator. 5 fours are 20. Bring the 0. Bring the 0. Bring the 0. So what have I got? 43 by 4,000. So my final answer is 43 by 4,000. The seventh one, 4.8806. So 4 is my whole number. 8806 is my numerator. My denominator will have 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 zeros. 1, 2, 3, 4. So my whole number will remain the same. I'm going to reduce the numerator and the denominator of this fraction. Now both are divisible by 2. So let's divide both by 2. 2 fours are 8. 2 fours are 8. Bring the 0. 2 threes are 6. Let's look at the denominator now. 2 fives are 10. Bring the 0 and one more 0. So what do we have now? We have 4,403 by 5,000. Now this cannot be reduced further. So this is my final answer. We'll stop with that for now, children. In our next video, we will continue with the remaining questions. Thank you, children.